Yes, lads, quick time. I just wanted to do a shout out to Conscious Rapper Community. And the team that runs this page is here. This is the Conscious Rapper Community team. Michael D'Souza is the host. He is the CEO. Um, I'm going to get him to feature the account under here as well, as I'm sure he would think it's a wise idea. And then myself, OXSN, and I created basically all of this content you're seeing here. So I've been busy over the past day or so making. So basically, what this is Conscious Rapper Community. What this means is educational music that is inspirational and is food for the soul and seeks truth and seeks to educate and wake up the masses into higher consciousness and higher vibrational living.
Hello everybody.
Here's a video I made about Mr. Traumatic saving my life. So I stumbled onto conscious music when I was younger, and it fucking blew the lid off everything I thought I knew. This is the artist I stumbled into, Mr. Traumatic. I found him at age 15 and I've been an absolute fan ever since. He teaches things like Buddhism, as you can see here, and he talks about exposing the Matrix and the holographic metaverse, etc. It's super inspirational. He teaches health. He teaches awakening and spiritual practices. And I found him when I was younger, and he inspired me so deeply that I've gone on years later to help find this community here. So we've got so many artists, as you can see. Like some of these playlists, we've got themed playlists as well, and I'm still upgrading this. We've got Inspector Veg, we've got Ryan Sanders. As you can see here, we've got actual albums, not just artists. We feature albums. So I'm encouraging you to check out this YouTube page. We're also on SoundCloud, and as you can see here, we've got countless interconnected hubs of awakening. And recently, on this page that I'm logged into, see, I reposted this by MC Words, his track "The Matrix." And as you can see here in the description, big ups Conscious Rapper Community for grouping all the conscious artists on SoundCloud to display all of our lyrical artwork. Big up all the real souls. See, this gets my fucking soul pumping, because like my YouTube channel, I talk about what I want to talk about, but like the community is like a collective ego. And like I love the positive energy. Bespoke here is commenting, you can see. He's also a conscious rapper. Cyclone, who produced this track. Introspective, he's a top G who's been in the DMs recently. I know this geezer. I've been on Instagram Live with him, I believe. I do recognise this geese. So yeah, he shouted out the conscious rapper community, and I said, hey, big ups for the shout out. He said, no worries, you're doing bits. So there it is, my gamers. We've got some unreleased Ryan Sanders private on here, as you can see. We've also got many things. Like, and don't forget, yeah, this, but an extension of Conscious Rapper Community is, myself. I have, look at this, but fucking 745 videos. I've just been locked out of this account due to Babylon and the Matrix attacking me, like Russell Brand. But I'll just make it clear, I've been doing this for time. I'm seeking truth. Look at all these podcasts. And Mr. Nature here, Mr. Nature, he had a Conscious Rapper podcast also. I'll try and find it. And that's his girlfriend, Miss Sunshine, who's also on the same vibes. And yeah, Mr. Nature had a account What the fuck? Mr. Nature's gone. It was called Third Eye Prophets, where he is trying to interview conscious artists like Illuminati Congo, etc. K Rhino, he's a top G. Act the Savior is a top G. Inspector Veg is a top G. As you can see here, on my channel, I basically just screen recorded Inspector Veg's unreleased music that he has exclusively on his SoundCloud, and I had a bit of commentary and I put them on YouTube. There's Michael again, as you can see. So yeah, you get the gist. I don't need to go on. Basically, this music is like an infinite rabbit hole of awakening. What OXSN is, which is myself, OXSN, is really an interconnected hub of awakening. When you get on the path of awakening, you seek like-minded other individuals who also have mystical experience, as culture is often asleep. As you saw on Mr. Traumatic's banner, which he did actually comment, by the way, and he did actually share this video, but YouTube terminated my main channel. This is my second channel, and they just have locked me out of my second channel because they are introducing laws against free speech. Trying to lock us all away, but if you can see here, if we go on Mr. Traumatic's YouTube channel, he has 144000, which he supposes is a lot of the conscious community. I don't know if I subscribe to this idea particularly, or maybe it's not an idea, maybe it is truth. Whether or not it is relative or absolute truth, we won't discuss right now. But the 144,000, you will seek, basically, the way that the plot goes is you're just a human being on Earth, you get born, and you go to school, you get a job, and then you might take a psychedelic or some shit, and then you will literally just meet God, full blast, and when that happens, you're like, why the fuck does no one know about this? And you try to tell people, and everyone just gaslights you. So when you're trying to find, supposedly, the 144,000 awakened souls out of the whole population, which is what this is, then that is what OXSN is, and that is what the conscious rapper community is. It is an interconnected hub of trying to help you find others, essentially. As you can see, we're following 62 people on this account. We will likely only follow exclusively either those who support us or other like-minded conscious individuals or conscious artists. For example, Twisted Mystic, he just DM'd me personally on Instagram. I then done some research on him, and then I repost and I created a playlist for him on Conscious Rapper Community. Now, he's not particularly like, when it comes to discerning who is like the best quality and who deserves to be on here based on the quality. Like, for example, Mr. Traumatic has albums upon albums and he has mastered the production. Twisted Mystic is good. Like, I have good gold nuggets in my music, but I'm willing to admit that some of my stuff is rough around the edges, and I have perceived, I believe, that to be the case with this artist. But he still has definitely some good tunes. For example, he has Flowmatic featured on this song, which, if you know Flowmatic, he does not fuck about. So it's good stuff. So yeah, then I made him, just today, a playlist on here, as you can see here. Along with Flowmatic, a playlist. Although I don't think I could find him on SoundCloud. Oh no, he's here, but I don't... Does he have any music? Or these reposts? See, nothing here. If he did, he would be featured on the page, but he don't. So, everybody, get... Oh, did I submit? Right, look, take this as you will. Watch this. I'm still gonna support this guy, but long story short, I didn't want to bring this up, but it just caught my eye. Like look. If I try and add this new song of his to and this is just extra. I've said everything that needs to be said. You can go now. So these are all of the playlist, and Isometric MC's here. Let's add this to the playlist. So I've added that new song to this playlist. Let's go back down. Oh, it is here. Okay, it says it's added. Let's refresh the page. I don't... Look. It won't even let me like his tunes. So basically, what happened is Isometric fucking blocked me. Now, I don't... Like, I think he has a personal... I don't know him in real life. And I don't mean to just fucking ramble about this shit right now. And excuse my voice, because I have a cold a bit. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I've supported Isometric from the get-go. He's similar to Traumatic, and he has songs with Traumatic. And as I've made it clear, like, my whole motive is to, like, help the community. So I done the same as I done with anyone else. Like, and I think what it was is he told me to stop sending him shit on Instagram, which I'm sorry, to be fair. But, like, I don't know. To be honest, me personally, and I don't want to drag Michael D'Souza into this. It's not beef. I don't know what Isometric, like, why he blocked me or why he blocked the conscious rapper community on here. I am really not sure. I think he doesn't like me. I think he does not like OXSN, basically. And I don't blame him, because a lot of people don't like me in a lot of ways. And I think that's due to my radical nature. And I'm far from perfect. I'm far from a saint. I'm trying to get better. So I don't want to throw mud on the name of the conscious rapper community at all. But I noticed this. I was on Instagram. Yeah, I noticed that I just couldn't find Isometric. Like, I tried to, like, I can't remember what I was doing. But yeah, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I don't know. I think he just told me to stop sending him stuff. But like, I only ever send him like feedback on his own stuff. And the thing is, take it like this. If I want to act like a victim and play innocence, basically, a lot of conscious artists who I reach out to in the same nature as I reach out to Isometric respond well to my support, feedback, and interaction. Others don't respond at all, and some, like Isometric, don't respond well. Maybe I should have heeded his warning better. I don't know what it is exactly, but I would only ever send him... I might have sent him, like, some... Like, he told me... He said, oh, stop sending me shit. And I was like, well, I mean, everything I send you is about the mass awakening, so that's why I send it to you. And he's like, yeah, well, fair enough, but I still don't need you sending me shit. And then I might have, like... Because I do tend to just dish out a lot of content, but it's of the same nature as the conscious rapper community, where like I'm trying to wake people up and interconnect everything. So I'm sorry if I was spamming your Instagram, but that's my personal Instagram. I did not spam you with the conscious rapper community. But you know, I'm just crying over this one artist. It's not that deep. I've never met him. I do ultimately still support him, but I think what it is, basically this guy could be on levels in some way, where he's an MC, he's physically going to events and performing and making quite a few fucking tracks here and doing features with Traumatic, so he's obviously making big moves, right? Meanwhile, I am like, I've struggled a lot with like depression and mental health in the past, and I think he sees me potentially as like some form of degeneracy, and he's like, I don't have time for people of this nature. I'm out here grafting. I'm winning. I'm gonna block this geese. I don't know, but look, I don't want to continue crying about this. It's not really that deep. I probably shouldn't have even spoke about it to the extent that I did. But like, I think what it is when people can have you'll notice it with people in your life. Basically, people can think that they're better than other people, and they might you might be better than me in a lot of ways. For example, like there was this guy before, and he not this person, but like just a human being, locally to me. And I was like, "You think you're better than me?" And he's like, "Yeah, I do think I'm better than you." I'm like, "Oh shit, fair enough. I mean, fair enough. Maybe you are better than me because you're out here grafting and winning, and I'm busy being depressed trying to figure out the nature of reality." um, but what I think it is like basically, people can think that they are the bollocks to such an extent that they don't have time for anybody. And that's fair enough. I don't blame you. You don't need to have time for me because I don't provide an awful lot of value. And I do have degenerative traits at the minute, but I'm absolutely trying to get better. As you can see here, I big up David Goggins and all of these. As you can see, look, I'm doing more interconnectedness. This is what I was on about, the interconnectedness here. And I've even got an isometric highlight on here somewhere. I know I do. So that's all. So I'm sorry if I pissed you off somehow, isometric. But some people respond good to my feedback and support, etc. But some people don't. I don't. Honestly, I have no idea why you blocked me on here. Because he knew that I was co-hosting this account. But this account is purely just supporting all the artists, so I don't know why you'd block it. But I do think that he has a personal problem with me. Like, for example, basically, Isometric had a lyric on, and he done a live show, and he posted this live show to his Instagram, and he said, if I could go back, I'd do it all again. I'd never smoke weed. It really fucked my head up, and that's why I got no friends. And I commented like, oh, do you really regret weed and psychedelics? Because me personally, I find that I have found so much value in psychedelics and weed and things. And I said, like, do you... Because I was on the fence of, as a lot of people are, as I just uploaded a video called Stuck Between Nothing's Real and Realistic. Mess around in the third dimension and still a mystic. So I was saying, oh, so do you think that the psychedelics were delusion in the end? And do you regret going down that rabbit hole? And then he responded, he said, like, what the fuck are you on about, mate? Obviously, if you abuse psychedelics, it's going to damage you. Obviously. And I said, you'd be surprised how deep it goes. Like, we never actually had any beef, but I always kind of had, like, this feeling of, like... Because I asked him just, like, genuinely... and this was a long time ago, like, before we sort of fell out-ish. I don't know what happened. But he was just like... Well, I was asking, like, yeah, do you regret psychedelics? Like, do you think that they're delusional? Or, like, what's your conclusion? And he was like, he just said, what are you on about, mate? With a laughing face. If you abuse psychedelics, they will damage you. Which, to be honest, I don't know how deep these people go with psychedelics, but I don't know, look. And like, contrasting this person with, like, Mr. Nature... Mr. Nature abides in love and light. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I think there's a level of toxicity in Isometric and Mr. Traumatic that myself and Mr. Nature would recognize in terms of, like, the highest levels of enlightenment. Don't line up with calling people parasites and things, because that's coming from an egoic illusion of separateness. But I still agree with them. Like I say, I literally post videos of me like on my Snapchat rapping all of Isometric's lyrics. Like, I know the lyrics to a lot of his tunes, so it kind of disheartened me when I found out that he blocked me. But yeah, I'd love to keep supporting you, but I guess he doesn't need my support, or he doesn't want it. Maybe he just doesn't like me as a person, which is fair enough. I didn't mean to ramble so much about this bit, to be honest. So there you go. I'm gonna go now. I'm still in support of ISO and everybody, But yeah, I didn't mean to ramble about that. But yeah, I didn't want to speak about it because I don't want to divide the conscious community. But ultimately, it's not me dividing the conscious community. It's this geese. Not this geese. This geese. But yeah, that's all I have to say. I do wish the best for everybody still. I think if Isometric was truly on the Mass Awakening, I think maybe he would recognize a bit more. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I think what it is because I'm so radical. I will literally tell you, I don't know what I inherently believe to the core of my being, but I seem to have psychedelic experience that validate that I am dreaming in real time and that, like, reality is fundamentally illusory, and I speak on, like, radical, deep psychedelic experiences. And this is just an idea, but potentially those who cannot handle the deepest psychedelic experience are forced in a survival mechanism to gaslight and rationalize why you're wrong. So, for example, potentially, if Isometric fears facing the existential void of the present moment in a psychedelic peak, when he sees somebody who speaks on that, it's kind of how the culture is, like, Isometric knows that culture is asleep also. He speaks on the Mass Awakening and the sheeple. And he'll be familiar with, basically, Truth Hurts is an album by Mr. Traumatic, and when truth hurts, your ego avoids it by any means. The pain is so deep of the depths of reality in a psychedelic peak that I don't blame you if you can't face that. And that is what my channel is centered around. So anybody who can't recognize what I am about, and keep in mind, Isometric does have a lyric that states, quote, "I know deep down that I am feeling fear." So maybe that fear is why you blocked the Mass Awakening pioneer of the Rainbow Tribe. Or maybe I'm delusional, and maybe you're the top G, and maybe you should have blocked me because, I don't know. But look, there you go. It's just, like, because I've taken 130 magic mushroom experiences. Here it is, here it is. I think this is why Isometric blocked me, basically. This is a quote from Leogura. "The carpet throughout my house is covered in shit stains from all my awakenings. I have spent days on my knees soaking up puddles of liquid shit out of my carpet because the awakenings were so deep I could not make it to the toilet in time. And many times I didn't even try. This is proper spirituality, not whatever it is that you do." As you can see, Ryan Sanders said, "I respectfully disagree." Well, I respectfully disagree with you. And I imagine Isometric, if Isometric were to read this, he would think this guy has obviously damaged himself with too many psychedelics, and he needs to come back to Earth, and, but the truth is, Isometric, is you haven't gone deep enough with psychedelics, because if you did, you would recognize who I am. But you don't, and that is why your ego blocked me. And I am you. There's no separation. Like, I know that I am Isometric. But at this point, I'm talking no longer about the conscious rapper community. I am coming from God consciousness, psychedelic peak wisdom stuff. So I understand if you don't understand. But that's what I think it is. I think that... And by the way, Ryan Sanders, I can't help... I love you, Ryan. Me and Ryan are good mates. And by the way, I was going to show you earlier that here... Ryan interview. Me and Ryan have an unreleased, yet to release, how long? 2 hours 45. Oh my god. You know, 2 hours, 2 3/4 hour long interview with Ryan Sanders about the nature of reality and Christianity, etc. But again, let me make this fucking clear, right? If I can find myself. Hello. Basically, the truth is, I love everyone. I love Ryan. There's nothing wrong with Isometric. There's nothing wrong with Ryan. I love them all. I supported them from day one, like I've been saying the whole time. However, this goes to everybody out there. Psychedelics are not for everybody, but I'm telling you, if you are not consistently embarking on beyond heroic dose, extreme psychedelic experiences, or if you haven't done that in the past, if you haven't had a 7-gram psilocybin trip, if you haven't had a 5 grams psilocybin trip, if you haven't smoked 5-MeO DMT, if you haven't done breathwork, etc., honestly, you can know things on the relative plane, and you are still a valid person, and you can still provide value, and you, don't get me wrong, but, honestly, the way I see it, and this is just me, and I feel like this is why Isometric kind of blocked me in a sense, is, if you haven't gone to the core of reality with psychedelics, where you dissolve all other, or where you have profound mystical insights that completely recontextualize all of reality. If you get this, Isometric, if you're watching this, well, it depends, but like, it's like, if you haven't gone through psychedelics, and maybe you don't need psychedelics, a lot of you, but honestly, I'm kind of live with Leo Gurrit in a lot of ways. Honestly, if you aren't doing a heavy psychedelic experiences, and you are seeking truth, you're wasting your fucking time. But who am I to speak, because I'm obviously physically ill right now. I have a cold, so obviously I'm not in the highest vibration possible. And I'm sure I will learn in the future more and more. But anyway, that was the shout out to Conscious Rapper Community and a rant on wondering why Isometric blocked me. But yeah, he would see this and think like, why is this kid even dragging my name into his stuff? Which, fair enough, to be fair. I mean, sorry, Isometric, if I pissed you off. And sorry if I just chatted utter shit. I don't know what's real half the time, to be honest. But yeah, honestly, psychedelics are the core of reality, and the truth is, like, regardless of everything that I've said, you can be, you know, in the midst of life, and be out, without a doubt, if you take a heavy psychedelic, if you take a heroic dose of magic mushrooms, you will realize that the state of perception and ways that you were in the world were actually delusory. Like, you could go about acting in the world and doing all sorts of stuff for over a year, and you'll take a dose and you'll take a step back and go, what the fuck was I even doing? It's like, it changes neurotransmitters to the point where you literally become a different physical entity because your brain is radically transformed. So you literally reincarnate and get reborn, and then you realize that reality is fundamentally self-deceptive. So what I'm saying is, a psychedelic trip right now will prove that your state right now is potentially one of the least efficient states for accessing truth. Anyway, I gotta go because I got shit to do. I love you. Goodbye. Mwah.